Well, good morning, listeners. How are you? Good morning. And I want to thank you very much because without you, we wouldn't be here. I want to thank you for sticking with us and listening to us as much as you can. Thank you for being here. And I'm super excited because I have a woman that is freaking awesome. And she loves the word awesome and the word freaking too, because even the name of her company, it's a mechanical, they're engineers. She's a electrical engineer by trade, and her company is called Freaking Awesome Engineers. I love that name. So I want to introduce you to Ursula Iafrate, right?
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Iafrate.
Iafrate. Okay, Iafrate.
Thank you.
Ursula, please tell our listeners who you are, where you're coming from, and something about your company.
Sure. All right, I'd love to. Hi, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity, Patricia, to be here and share my story and with all of you lovely people. My name's Ursula. I was actually born in South America, but I grew up in South Florida. And I have two boys. They're 5 and 8 years old, and a lot of pets. I love animals. I have a horse, a cat, a dog, and some fish. And my partner and I started the firm 14 years ago, FAE Consulting, which, like Patricia mentioned, stands for Freaking Awesome Engineers. And we are just committed to awesome, committed to making a difference in our community. And I'm really excited to be here today.
So I was looking through your website, and I am very fascinated always with culture in a business.
Mm-hmm.
I think culture is everything. It's the way we do things, right?
It is.
And as business owners, sometimes we fail to let our people know, even to have a clear understanding of how are we going to behave as a culture.
Yeah.
But in your mission, it says inspiring you. Your mission is to inspire one another to dream and achieve beyond what we thought possible today. Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you, because coming up with that as a mission, where it really doesn't have anything to do, pragmatically speaking, with what you do on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. When I say that, is objectively speaking, you guys, you're creating drawings, mm-hmm. you're bringing the owners or the client's mission into a piece of paper that is in specifications that somebody else can take from there and build it and make it a reality. Mm-hmm. But I want to understand, what was the logic? How did you guys came up with this? What happened?
Right. So there's many things that relate to that vision statement. And one is, it's all about the teamwork and collaboration, collaboration with each other. Like we're a company, but we're also a family. We have each other's backs. One team, one FAE, our first core value. We're in this together. Like on a sports team, you win and lose together. You have to cheer each other on. You celebrate the wins together. And there's some losses too, but we pick each other up when something doesn't happen. We learn from our mistakes. We always, as a group, collaborate, and we teach each other what we learned or what went wrong. How can we do it better? The point is to make a difference in our community with these buildings that we're able to work on, that provide jobs, that provide housing, that provide just opportunities. The client themselves, a lot of times it's their first project, and they're not even sure what it's really going to be like going through the process, and we're able to impact and make their lives and make a difference for the future for their projects.
And I love that, because it's not only that, but when you give that, words matter, right? And words create meanings. And it depending on the words we choose, we are able to influence people to go the direction that we want. And when you say that you inspire one another, it means that they don't have to wait for you to inspire them, that they have to find it within themselves to inspire each other when things don't,
Absolutely.
You're not around, right?
Absolutely. Core value number 2 at Freaking Awesome Engineers is empowered associates. And we value our associates. We trust in the team. And we're not there to babysit anyone. We're there to watch people grow. I want to watch people succeed in whatever they want to be in that company or in life. I'm going to help them and make sure they achieve it that way. So we work together so that everyone feels successful and can feel happy and proud of what we're working on together, which at the end is to produce a project that we're all proud of, you know, because we're not here just spitting out blueprints and designing pretty things on the computer. We're here to make a project that we're proud of at the end, that we can all appreciate and, you know, bring our friends and family to see. And
that's also important because, you know, when we start a project, you know, that even from the programming side or from planning stage, I always say that in our industry, what we do is solve problems.
Yes, that's an engineer, a problem solver.
Yeah, a problem
Absolutely.
solver. And you'd be surprised. I think if there's one thing engineering taught me is precisely to solve problems.
That's what it is. It's a mindset.
Just what I did with this microphone. That's a problem solver.
It's everything.
And it's incredible, but it's also about mindset, and it's about meaning, right?
Yes.
And so when you give that clarity, we're going to solve the problem. We're going to be inspired. We're going to see tomorrow better than today. It's such a clear vision. It seems to be simplistic, but to me,
it's deep.
It's very profound.
I agree. It is.
So
exactly like that. Yes.
I congratulate you because
Thank you.
Getting there is not, many people don't.
No, and culture has been important to us from the beginning. And this is how much we appreciate our employees, that when we decided to create a new vision, which was last year, and a new core values, our previous core values from the start, fun was always one, which is unusual, but it's true. You have to have fun when you're working. Quality, of course, you want a quality product you could be proud of. Responsiveness, our communication and our responsiveness to our clients is top notch. We treat every client the best that we can to our abilities. And then relationships, we're about building eternal relationships with each other and the relationships with our clients. You know, they become part of our friends. We know their dogs' names.
Yes.
We love getting to know our clients so we can better work together.
Absolutely.
And feel like part of a team. That's
Absolutely.
what we want. We want to work with the clients that value us and make us feel like part of our team. So when we went ahead with the new vision for last year, we asked all our staff to submit vision statements and core values, things that they felt like represented our company, who we are. It wasn't who we want to be, it's who we already were. And we used one of the employees and we modified the vision statement to that final statement that you see, but that's how much we care about collaboration. It's not, there's nobody dictating people what to do. We're a team.
Yeah.
We are a team.
I absolutely agree. And there's another thing about you that really fascinates me and actually touches me. And it really is very, very profound because who you are is what your company is.
Yes.
As a leader, right?
You live and breathe the core values.
It's who you are.
Yes.
It really is not who you pretend to be.
No.
And one thing that seems to be, my question is going to be, I know you love horses.
Yes.
And your horses are rescued.
Yes.
And it's pretty profound, that process, because horses also have a healing power.
Yes.
And so the question is, how do you compare and the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So what shows up in your personal life as a hobby, right? It also shows up in your business, I'm sure. So how do that heart that you have, I know you're an engineer and I know you're a go-getter and what you want to do, you get done.
Yes.
And there's no obstacles. That heart that you have, that compelling heart that got you to be with horses, how does that manifest in your business?
I'll let you know. This is a great question. Thank you. So when we started the company back in 2008, when the world was ending and the market was crashing, we were young and naive and fearless, and I'm still fearless. It's just my personality. And we were like, we're going to do this. And everyone kept saying to us, are you guys crazy? And we're like, you know what? The horses at the I'm not into horse racing. They're beautiful performance horses, but I don't like the industry. But we're going to be like the horses on the track with the blinders on. And we are going to run our own race. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It has to come from within. And that's how you can become successful, you know. And we've learned and we've fallen many times along the way. And we share those moments with our staff. We're transparent. And it just helps people help you along the way when they see how genuine you are and that you're not going to fail. Yeah.
And also vulnerable. A lot of times, even to our kids, we try to
protect them, but no.
Protect them and show as if we are perfect.
No,
and
there's no perfect.
That's not true.
So with the horses, a lot of people are actually scared of horses. And it's amazing because they're so big and they're giant. And, you know, there are some wild horses. Not every horse is calm and sweet and peaceful. But I've been working with horses, volunteering for 10 years with special needs kids and horses. And it's the most magical moments of my life. It's my favorite place to be. And just see the bond form with the students and the horses and just being around horses. It's true. It's a scientific thing. It's peaceful. It's peaceful for your heart, for your physical body, for your mind. And I mean, let's just face it. You know, I'm still at 42 years old, the girl that you're driving on the highway and you see a field and you're like, oh, horses. You know, it's like every little girl, right? And so I think it translates into, for me, everything is about passion. What is the purpose if there's no passion? So I'm passionate about the horses, about volunteering, about helping and giving back. I'm passionate about my firm and the people in the firm. You know, I'm just passionate for the people. I'm passionate about what we do because we do make a difference in our community. And yeah, my cat's a rescue and my horse was a rescue, and my dog came from a breeder, but it's been coming to work for 10 years. But those bonds that you create with the animals, that also translates into people. It takes time to build a bond, to build a trust, to trust your employees, for your clients to trust you. And it's just patience and being consistent, and just being open and vulnerable with the animals, with the clients. And that's how you build these everlasting bonds.
I think also that that process also brings all the best emotions in you out. So the process, you know, because yes, it is proven that it's healing just to be so long with horses and even animals. It is proven because there's no judgment, there's none of that.
Unconditional love.
There's unconditional love, and sometimes in our industries, you know, design a little bit different than construction. It can be very stressful depending on the client you have. It can be terrifying. Yes. Some clients I'm firing.
Yes, we've done that too.
There's no reason you want to put your people.
I agree.
Do that.
Exactly.
There's no
100%.
money. Yeah,
no money is worth it.
No money is worth it. But in that process, the process of healing, you know, hurt people.
Absolutely.
But when you are love, you can give love.
Absolutely.
When you are gratitude, you can be grateful.
Absolutely.
And anyway, so we didn't want to go there. But sometimes that's what happens in the podcast. We just allow ourselves to be guided.
Yeah, I agree. And it's all about, right, you put out to the world and the world gives back to you. Amen. You know, and the more that you help people, the world helps you. Amen. It's just the universe has your back.
I agree.
And it's all about, hey, we all have bad days. I wear my heart on my sleeve, so you could tell if I'm sad or upset or having a bad day. But it's, you know, the dog's at the office. You hug the dog. It's a therapy dog, you know. If somebody will come by and say something, or they go get you a coffee or something. We have each other's backs at work, you know. And that's why it all goes back to culture, what people are doing when nobody's looking, what they represent, you know, and there's all kinds of personalities and diversity, but at the end of the day, we're all committed to awesome. We're committed to what we do. And that core value one is one team, one FAE. Yeah. And that's the purpose. Together.
No judgment.
Yes.
No looking at the past, focusing on the future, creating a different meaning.
Yes.
So, on that note, what has been if you can think about it, the biggest challenge you've had since the moment you started your company? I know that that was challenging, and I can totally understand because I started at the same time, and everybody said, "No, are you crazy? There's no work in construction and so on." But you did it anyways, and that's very valuable. That's why you're here. What has been the biggest challenge that you have had to face that made you think about, you know what, this is not worthy. I am going to do something else. This is too much.
Yeah. There's all those times over the 14 years.
Momentarily. Yeah. I'm not saying that you stay there.
No, of course. No, yeah. Momentarily. Yeah, of course there's been times where I'm like, I'm just going to quit my job and go work with horses. That would be the dream. That would be the dream, to work with special needs kids in a therapeutic riding program every day. I'm fortunate enough I get to do that one day a week. But it does get challenging at work. And I think that one of the biggest ones, obviously, was the pandemic, because we weren't prepared to just all of a sudden send everybody home, have the technology set up, and it was challenging. And the responsibility of all these employees that I love, and what ifs, what's going to happen?
The fear.
What if the work stops? Yeah. But we had to keep plowing forward, and we worked through it together, and everybody stayed. And everybody came back when we came back into the office in October. And it was even the fear of going back to the office in person. You've been locked up in a house for 6 months. But we got through it together, because you can't let fear paralyze you and control your life. It's there just to keep us from major danger. It'd be weird if we didn't have fear, but fear isn't going to be what drives us,
Yeah, it stops us.
Right. So we, I think just that being set up at home, and obviously a big part of our portfolio is the private sector, which had slowed down. We're very thankful that the high-end custom homes, which is a big part of our market sectors, kept booming. And that's really what kept us alive during the pandemic, when the commercial work slowed down, which is part of the whole repurposing of getting our women-owned and minority-owned certifications and diversifying into the public sector, right, with all the money that's being put into infrastructure and things like that. We just want to diversify our portfolio, and we're blessed with work now. We have to unfortunately turn away work because I need more people. That's the second challenge, the labor shortage. We don't want to just fill seats. We have a very stringent hiring process. You have to fit the culture. You have to have a positive attitude and be willing to learn and roll up your sleeves regardless of your title. I wear 100 hats at work. We all do, And that's if you don't have that can-do attitude of that one team, one FAE, that I'm going to help you on your team because you're working a lot, or you need help to meet the deadline, because we don't miss deadlines. That's our big thing that we're proud of. Then you're not going to fit the culture. Even if you're the most amazing engineer on the planet Earth, you have to fit the culture.
So what do you do when someone shows up? How do you figure out during your interview process if someone is positive or not?
Okay, the dog. I'm not kidding. The dog comes to every interview, and dogs have interesting senses.
Really?
And when the dog likes you, because it's interesting to see when somebody fakes liking a dog or not, too. You can tell right away. But if the dog likes you and you're giving off good vibes, it can attract an animal. And the dog will usually come and sit by the person's, by the feet. I'm not kidding. The dog walks around everywhere, comes to all the meetings, sits in the conference room. It's been there for 10 years.
Wait. So wait a sec. If the person shows up doing the interview and they don't pet the dog, or if they pet it, but it's...
No, that's okay. They don't have to like dogs. Okay. You don't have to like dogs to be cool.
So it's the energy.
You can feel the energies, but I can feel the energies from people too. I'm a feeler. So you could just see it. You could tell when people are genuine and you ask those questions, when they're vulnerable, when they tell you how they learn from their mistakes. Then you just know that they're real people, when they want to learn, when they're not know-it-alls. Like, I love hiring people that are smarter than me. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to be surrounded with employees that are smarter than me.
Of course.
And
you will never be able to do what you want to do. You said that if you had it your way, you would be
volunteering all day.
Yes. And you will never be able to be the owner of your company, meaning that not the operator.
Exactly.
If you are wearing all of these multiple hats at this stage, good, it says how much you are, how valuable you are. And it also is not giving you the steps to get to where you want to be.
Exactly.
So you definitely are doing right by hiring people smarter than you.
Absolutely.
And that's an identity shift that we have to go through. A process that we have to go through.
It's hard to let go of things, but it just helps the company grow and it helps myself grow to any personal goals that I have. Yeah. And that's what you learn these things along the way. But it's all about, you owning the company and not the company owning you.
Yes, absolutely. And what I like is that you're doing some of what you want to do full time later on. You're doing religiously every week, once a week. So you're not waiting for perfection to start living the life the way you want it.
Yes.
And that's very commendable. I really admire you.
Aww.
Because a lot of people, it's not that easy to get to where you are, and it shows me that you have been working on yourself.
Absolutely.
And on your personal growth and development.
I am. No, it's all about. I'm not afraid to say that I've been in therapy multiple times. It's all about connecting with yourself and realizing that you don't need anybody's validation. It just comes from within. Like your happiness and joy and who you are, that all comes from within. And it's great when people say nice things about you, but you have to feel it yourself.
Absolutely.
And then everything just changes.
Who has been, can you name your 3 biggest mentors? Or people that have been most influential in your life, in who you are today, that you love who you are today. I know that. Who has been transformational for you? If had this person not showed up in your life, whether it is in person or not, you wouldn't have been who you are today? That's a tough question because I know there's got to be more than 3 people.
Oh yes, there definitely is. I think just overall a big influencer in my life was my father. He passed away almost 10 years ago. He had the same positive personality, cheerleader, supporter of everybody, like the biggest heart. Any of my crazy ideas about starting my company, of becoming an engineer, of doing a bodybuilding show, anything, he supported 100% and was always proud and made me feel that I could do anything I wanted to do, which we can. We only self-limit ourselves,
Yeah,
and when you realize that you have to stop being your own worst critic, and when you realize that you can do anything, within limits, of course, right? But you can. If you want to do something, you go for it and you give it your all. And even if you fail at it, you learn from it.
Absolutely.
And it just makes you that much stronger, even with obstacles. So my dad, father? Oh my gosh, I would do anything for 5 minutes with my dad. Oh. He was the best ever.
He's with you.
Yeah, he is with me.
You are him.
Yeah.
I mean, you are you, but he's definitely your soul. His soul is with you.
Yeah.
Who else?
Who else? Wow, I'm actually going to say Jamie Baird. She is like my soul sister. She's a women's wellness expert. She's one of my best friends. She pushes me not just on a physical level, but on a mental and emotional level to just be the best me and realize just to never give up. And she just is challenging and she just totally gets me, and I love her. And we have like similar lives with our dads who were super amazing. And I just learned so much from her wisdom and everything, and her inspiration, and just has totally changed my mindset in a physical standpoint to really love our bodies from the inside out. And in turn, it just becomes beautiful when you realize that you eat the foods that make you feel good, and it's not about restrictions or anything like that. Like, I feel like my balance and lifestyle with fitness and food has completely changed because of her, and she's just an amazing friend. I can't imagine life without her.
That's awesome. We need a good friend. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible how so much of you is that healing part, and and how much of that work have you done yourself in order to be able to really help other people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How tell me about. I mean, I know I asked you for 3 people, but I'm not gonna push it unless it can come out quickly.
Well, I was get one more quick one. My 2 business advisors right now, I love and adore them. Started working with them a couple years ago, and it's just amazing, like, that they've helped us see the vision, helped us do strategic planning, something I didn't even know what that meant, but now we have this roadmap for like the next 5 years of who we want to be instead of just living in the day. They've really taught me to live in that 10,000 foot view and to run this firm and follow through with the vision and follow through with our goals and share it with the team. We're all in it together. And I think it's really changed my mind as a business owner to help me become a better leader. And I'm really, really appreciative of both June and Michael in my life. And I think it's just helped take my company to the next level. And we're all really excited about it in the firm.
So you can do more of what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Yes. And help more people and grow your company. I really love that. It's very inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
So going back to the construction industry.
Yes.
Why is it that you think we don't have that many women in construction?
I think a lot of it has to do with the fear, right? Or are we good enough, and things like that. When I was in engineering school, I graduated with 5 females in all of the mechanical engineering degrees at FAU.
Mechanical or electrical?
And all of them. I'm saying mechanical, electrical, so there's about 5. And one of them is one of my best friends, Amy, who we still work together for 20 years. She's one of our project managers. And it's just, I think that people just let society limit themselves. And I think a lot of it does have to do, a lot of people make decisions based on fear. How many times I've heard people say, I want to start my own company, but I can't. That word is so powerful that if you're constantly repeating that to yourself, guess what? You can't, right? The quote is, whether you can or can't, you're right. And like I said, I have self-doubts. We all have self-doubts about things. It can't run your life. I think that women have a great opportunity to make a difference in this industry. In fact, I find it when I speak with plan reviewers, they're super nice to me when people tell me, oh, so-and-so, he's the worst. And I'm like, you just have to be nice to people and they're nice back. And I've even had clients say, like, I love working with women. My mother owned an electrical contracting firm, and it changes the dynamics, and I think that more and more people are open to it. However, I have noticed, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes there is that old school all boys club mentality. And guess what? I have male partners, so sometimes the client fit works better with one of my males.
You send them who they want to see.
Exactly.
Because people relate to who they are.
It's back to relationships. Yeah. Not everyone is the fit for everyone, and that's okay. We find the right fit in our firm for the principal and the project manager that you're going to work with and just have synergy.
Well, what an interesting conversation. I love to talk about, what makes us our souls. But I want to go back to our thriving in construction. Although we are who we are, and that even transforms and affects the day-to-day operation in our construction project. We bring who we are into our job sites and our jobs. MEP. When we say MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection too. From the design perspective, when you are approached by a client and you are required to produce some drawings, MEP drawings, right? What are the 3 pillars that you think about that are crucial for a project to be successful from your standpoint?
Yeah. All right. So when I think of MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, I feel that we bring the building to life. And it's not just about functionality, but we have to also consider the aesthetics or the structure. in everything, because if an architect or a client has us put, supply grills at an opening that we know is going to drip and we know is going to have condensation issues and so forth, and then the drywall is going to get, we speak up about it and we talk about it and say, if you do this, you're going to do this. And it's very important that we are able to, again, make something functional, but also take into consideration the aesthetics of the project so that you don't see our systems. It just becomes one with the space.
And I love the open concept. I love to go to a restaurant where you see all the. And the other day I saw the renovation of an old building. It was a warehouse where they kept all the huge MEP, open. It was incredible. It looked beautiful, mixed with the modern. So
absolutely.
That's very. It's happening a lot now, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we work on a lot of historical commercial buildings and historical high-end homes on Palm Beach Island, and it's important to keep the integrity of the buildings and the structure. So those projects become very challenging because we need to make sure the lighting's correct, that people are cool, there's the correct humidity. It's like you can't oversize HVAC and you can't undersize HVAC. So it's very important and very involved what we do. And we just like to be a part of the team. We love getting in a room with the contractors, with the client, with the architect, everybody on the same page, listening to what the client wants. It's very important that we understand the expectations.
The intent.
Right, so we can make it happen and we understand the budgets and so forth. So we're not over designing something when they only have a budget for, a standard
the best
project.
Projects to me are those that take into consideration, where you have that kind of collaboration earlier on, and you bring the tenant. Even if you're doing a home, even the whole family, who's using this house, what's important to them.
Oh, absolutely. When we do, high-end custom homes is about 40% of our business, and we have a questionnaire of probably 50, 60 questions related to MEP. And it's so important that we understand all those details. And it's not that, is this a seasonal home? How many people do you think would be taking a shower at one time, Or is it just 2 people that live in the house? And we go through so many questions, and we love having those conversations. We love being educated from contractors that are in the field out doing it. And that's why when everybody's on the same page, the project, it goes so much smoother when everybody spends the time up front and is moving in the same direction together, and then the construction just happens, and it's a beautiful thing.
So you from at the beginning of the process, collaboration with all the stakeholders.
Absolutely.
And then what else?
Good communication throughout the project. That is key.
I agree.
Keeping everybody in the loop about what's going on. The coordination, because we take a lot of pride in the quality of our project, we say, hey, we need to have structural plans. Well, if you don't have them, we don't want to hold up the job. Well, you need to mark up beams, or you need to tell us how much space if you want us to move it forward, because nobody wants to be redesigning things. And nobody wants to design something that you can't build. We're here to make something that can be built.
I agree.
We're not into being a sweatshop that just produces drawings. No, that's not our company. What our company does.
Yeah. What else?
I think so. Communication is key.
Collaboration, communication.
And the number one that distinguishes us is doing what we say we're going to do. We do not miss deadlines. That's very, very important, and it's a big Achilles heel for a lot of MEP firms. We do careful resource planning. We look at all our projects every week with the project management and the leadership. If we see a hiccup or something's been delayed because we haven't gotten the information we need, we communicate it ahead of time. We say, hey, we're going to need 2 more days. This is why. But our entire company goes back to culture. We have the mindset of we are going to meet the deadline. That's our job, to meet your deadline, to make you look good, or if the architect's our client, to make the client look good. And we will do whatever it takes. We go that extra mile. Never average, always awesome.
I love that. So finally, do you have a question for me? Is there something I haven't asked that you would want to share, or?
I just love how you love to help people and how this podcast can influence people and can make a difference. Even just off when we were off
In a break, in
yes,
a little break.
on a little mini break, and we came up with an idea, and it was just like, oh my goodness, maybe that was the purpose of being here today. But
You want to share the idea?
I appreciate learning. Sure, I'll share the idea. I appreciate learning from you, and that you want to give back as a mentor, because I would see you as a mentor for a highly successful woman in the construction industry, and I love that. Pink hard hats, pink boots. And I really do appreciate this.
Thank you. And I want to wish you a lot of luck. I know with that, what we want in life, it's not a straight line. And life happens for us. There's challenges along the way. Problems are part of life. What makes us sometimes unhappy is thinking that they're not going to be there.
Absolutely.
But I love how you have embraced them to transform you, to do what you can do, and do your bravery. Mm-hmm. So I know it's not a straight line, but you're going to be more than awesome and more than amazing.
No, I appreciate that. And you said about the influencers, and I mentioned Jamie, and the 3 words are grit, gratitude, and grace. We always have to give ourselves grace.
I love
that. And we can't give up. So because I love riding horses, each time I fall off the saddle, I just dust myself off and I get back on. Because I'm going to fall, and I fall. And it's a real thing. If you ride horses, you're going to fall.
That reminds me. When I was 17, I was riding a horse in Dominican Republic, and I love horses. But when I moved here, I don't do it. I don't even know where.
What?
Yeah,
I
know.
Change that.
That can be. And I remember riding this horse, and it was I had an uncle that had a lot of land, and these horses were really nice. They how do you say?
With the canter?
Yeah, it was super big. The momentum
was incredible.
The momentum, yeah. Was incredible. Yes. It wasn't like no. They were
They're big gates.
Big gates, yes. I didn't know how to say it in English.
No.
And these horses, they took off.
Majestic.
And my mind was following the guys, some guys that were ahead of me. And in a way, I freaked out, right? Because I went to a place where I had never been. Right. In my head, I thought I was going to fall. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, because you think it.
Yeah. I thought about it. I was not in the momentum, right? With the wind and everything that was happening, I was more thinking about what could happen. Yeah. But in the end, the seat was not properly adjusted.
Oh no! So the girth fell.
I started falling like that.
No.
And then, but you know what? By the grace of God, it didn't hit me. It went kind of on top of me. Right. So from there on, I haven't done it.
Oh my goodness.
Not because I was afraid. It's just that it couldn't happen. But maybe I'll do it with you one day.
Absolutely.
We'll take a picture
on the 2022 bucket list.
Yes. Oh no, I'll do it.
So I, it's funny you say that. I just recently got into, in the last couple of years, horse yoga, where you're doing yoga moves on the horse, and recently standing up on my horse and having the horse walk, and it's called trick riding, and doing tricks like that. And people are like, aren't you afraid? And I'm like, no, if I was afraid, I would fall. I trust my horse, and the horse trusts me.
Wow.
So we're able to explore and do exciting things, but it goes back to your mind. Whatever you think is going to happen, you manifest it.
And I'm going to close with this. You mentioned the word trust, and trust in building teams, and in your family, in anything that is going to move anything forward. Trust is key. So I commend you, I celebrate you, and I trust that you will be even in a better place when we meet again. Thank you for being here.
I appreciate this so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the learning opportunity.
Likewise.
Thank you for watching Thriving in Construction, the podcast with Patricia Bonilla. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to help support the podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. If you have any suggestions or any related topics you would like us to tackle in our future episodes, feel free to comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week here in Thriving in Construction, the podcast.